So hello and welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Carrie Ann. On this channel, I love to share my joy for dolls, my joy for books, literary characters, all things between, and all things in between, I guess. I haven't quite perfected a little intro, but yeah, I got to just kind of make different vlogs, different videos, some sit-down videos where I share dolls that I'm loving and what's on my heart and on my mind. This is the sewing room. This is where a lot of my crafting and projects get done for my dolls. And yeah, in this video, I'm gonna do a bit of some chit chat, try to keep it short, share a special little girl doll with you, and yeah, just this exciting little creation. And maybe some other highlights, moments of the topic being encouraging motherhood. Now, yeah, this might not be for everybody. I know not everybody who watches my channel either is a woman or is a mother, but this is for those of you who either are moms or are hoping to one day be a mom. And just to give you some encouragement that yeah, you can do it. You can make your dreams of being a mom come true, no matter what the world or people in your life might say at you. I remember the first and probably biggest response you always hear is that kids are so expensive. And while yes, they can be, it's all a matter of choice. And well, not all, like I don't want to be insensitive. There is a matter of choice and power that you have to make that not the full reality. So yeah, the doll I'm going to be featuring in this video is an exciting, I couldn't believe my eyes, thrift store find that I found locally to me, which was hard to believe. And she's from the Bitty Baby line. So that gives you a little bit of a teaser to hook you in until I share the doll. But, and I'll pull her up in a little bit. I just have a few thoughts I want to share before we talk about the doll. And yeah, if any of you are new and you haven't seen any of my other videos or followed any of my stuff, totally cool. So glad to have you here. But I've shared how my experience in getting into dolls happened after I had a miscarriage. So I have one daughter, one beautiful, amazing daughter. She recently turned 3. She is the sweetest, most amazing thing in the world. And a lot of days I still look at her and say, like, how are you real? It is, in fact, insane witnessing the creation and the emergence of a brand new, completely unique human being, and that they are real and tangible and expressive and beautiful, made in the image of God, you know, is how I see it. But I have one beautiful daughter. I sadly experienced 2 miscarriages in 2024, which was the most kind of baffling and bewildering experience I had been through, even though they will tell you that it's a very common experience, 1 in 5 pregnancies. But to have 2 back-to-back seemed like just even more wild to me, because I had a perfectly healthy pregnancy and daughter with my first, no previous issues or complications. But yeah, that really kind of hard time, difficult time, led me to be drawn towards dolls. They have this beautiful, and you know, it also helps that I have a daughter. So it's a thing that I was already on the lookout for her, like, oh yeah, I'd love her to have beautiful doll experiences. And then I was finding that even for myself, oh, this is something that brings me joy as well. But to keep it short, I found that dolls were a kind of creative outlet, this kind of beautiful, tender outlet. You know, I was missing, yearning for these children that I lost, also while trying to be a mom to my daughter. And they just kind of give you this pseudo-human visual where you're still being able to like be tender and care for something. And I don't know, they just really captured my heart and my imagination, and I loved the dolls for the interactions it gives me with my daughter, the ability it gives me to be creative with my sewing skills, my interest in like clothing and fashion. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, the doll I have to share with you is from the Bitty Baby line. Okay, sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. My encouragement is that yes, like becoming a parent can be the most difficult thing you might ever do. There are varying stages for all of that, but it can be the most beautiful at the same time. And if you are willing to be like patient and frugal and thrifty and keen-minded, your children will only prove to like be a blessing and not a burden to you, especially not a financial burden. I think I've mentioned in other videos, the reality of like children's items are that, you know, they only get used for such short periods of time, but they have so much remaining life in them. So the secondhand market for children's items is the creme de la creme, because yeah, toys, clothing, shoes, they get used for, especially in the first couple of years, like 3 months at a time. And then you even have to ask yourself how many times in that 3 months did a child wear or use that garment or those shoes. So there's a lot of life left in children's items. And thankfully in my, I live in a smallish city, but I was more than capable and able to find pretty much everything I needed for my daughter secondhand, minus a car seat. If you are in a car lifestyle like I am, your car seat is going to be your number one, a big priority, and also one of the larger, more expensive items to buy. But my little tip and suggestion on that is if you opt to buy a Grow With Me car seat, that is the one where you put it in your car and it stays in your car. It's not one of those clickable bucket type seats that you can just tote the baby around in. If you buy one of those, you just pay the one installment. I was able to get mine $3.50 Canadian at a Costco. That seat is meant to last them pretty much the whole time they need a car seat. Like it changes, I think transitions even into a booster seat. So until they're like 10 plus years old. So you're gonna get a lot of life out of that car seat. And you don't have to buy a second car seat. If you opt for one of the bucket click and go type car seats, I know it can seem convenient, like being able to just pull your baby out in the car seat, but there is, a lot of talk and encouragement to not keep your children in what they call like containers, young babies in containers too long, for their head development and their bones and stuff. So while yeah, it can be convenient, it is also, yeah, just as simple to pop on a carrier if you're needing to go do some errands, pop your baby in a carrier, or just literally carry them. I know it can seem kind of intimidating sometimes just toting your kid around open arms, but I'm telling you, it's such this like thing I think we serve to first-time moms, like that you need the push stroller with the clickable bucket seat and you need to unload that everywhere you go. Like I never wanted to take a stroller like that to the grocery store. I either would pop my baby into a carrier, go grocery shopping with a grocery cart, or when she was old enough, like by the time they turn 6 months and they can sit up, well, you know, after six-ish months they can sit up, you pop them in the car seat, and not in the car seat, you pop them in the grocery cart and you go shopping with them. So it really is like such a short window of time where it might be advantageous that, you know, I'm just saying it's a way that you could save a lot of money is if you don't opt for that. You find maybe a secondhand stroller for under $100 that will, you know, maybe last both the infant stage and the toddler stage. Or people, you know, are sometimes giving away older vintage 90s strollers. I got one for free that we keep on our porch to push my daughter around in if we're like going for walks in the neighborhood. You know, yeah, there's just so many little things. And the blessing, I think, with pregnancy, there's like this grace that God gives us of it's 8 months pretty much of preparation. So you have a lot of time to be looking and keeping an eye out on Marketplace, in your local community, on Facebook groups, for items that you are looking for your child. And yeah, you can get almost completely, I just recently saw a post, like a complete cloth diapering set for $100. And then think of all the money you're gonna save not buying box after box after box of diapers. Now, of course, like take my encouragements with a grain of salt because these are all, you know, lifestyle and life situation dependent. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I live in a kind of suburban, small city community. It's pretty quick to get places, all that kind of jazz. So these things work for me, obviously. You know, so I was able to put my time into doing cloth diapers and shopping secondhand and all these types of things. If you, of course, like have a full-time job or you live in a smaller community, like I'm just saying, take these with a grain of salt. If all this is to be is an encouragement that like there are ways to make becoming a mom, becoming a parent, not feel like the biggest financial burden ever. And yeah, like I bought all secondhand just clothes and, you know, swaddle blankets and burp cloths, and my grandma found me like a secondhand used little baby bathtub for $5 or something. We bought a wooden cradle, a vintage wooden cradle for I think $50 that worked while my daughter was like in the first few months, but then I started co-sleeping with her and I've saved on bed costs there because we already have beds and you're just sleeping with them. Of course, yeah, these things aren't for everybody. Cloth diapering saved me huge. I got a bunch of secondhand cloth diapers. I don't think I paid over $100 for all my cloth diapering stuff. And between that and doing like early potty training, early pottying techniques, I saved so much waste and money on disposable diapers. I would of course still have like small packs or amounts on hand for certain circumstances, for traveling, for just those tough days or overnight sometimes when you just really didn't want to think about a cloth diaper. But yeah, my encouragement is be thrifty, be frugal. You have time to prepare and it can, yeah, just be a beautiful experience. As my tea's getting cold. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I had my first daughter, she just turned 3. I had a couple miscarriages, but I'm thankfully expecting our second baby in June 2026 here. So I'm getting close, which is hard to believe. And yeah, it's been really fun getting to go and like knowing, yeah, like just knowing that they're coming, it's been fun. And I had this wonderful experience of coming across this dolly on a thrifting trip. And I came up with the cutest little idea of what would be a fun kind of gift. I've heard of people doing that, like with a new baby coming, kind of like giving something to your firstborn, to show you that like they're still being thought of. And I don't know, I had kind of this idea when coming across this bitty baby that it would be fun to give my daughter a little like mommying box, baby box. So while I'm dealing with baby, like she can be playing with her own baby at the same time. And it all just kind of worked out and came together. So I'm really excited to share. I'll maybe do a B-roll here just of kind of how the doll looked when I first got her. She had some marks on her face and her hair just needed a good brushing, and she had a questionable outfit on, though the jumper was labeled American Bitty, like it was an actual American Girl Bitty Baby, but it wasn't the whole outfit, so it was kind of iffy looking. But so so I've got the doll and I'm going to share with you. I found the cutest. I really love in the original Bitty Baby collection the wicker suitcase that you could buy to keep your Bitty Baby stuff in. Now I couldn't find one of those. I might eventually stumble upon one, but I found this really pretty floral case that's like a suitcase kind of style storage box. That's the perfect size. And I've got a few, yeah, I'm going to show that after. But yeah, I've got this box and then I've got the doll that I'm going to gift to her. Yeah, and I hope she's going to like it. But here is the Bitty Baby doll I found, which I honestly couldn't believe. Anytime I find anything proper American Girl in my city, I'm always flabbergasted because I just know how difficult it is procuring these items in Canada. So, but yeah, she's one of the earlier Bitty Babies in that she was part of one of the Bitty Baby twin. She was part of the Bitty Baby twin line from my understanding. Those were the ones that came with like these cute canacolin wigs. I put her hair up in these little buns, which I thought was kind of fun. And she's got those bags. She looks like she could be a baby Samantha or something, right? And I made her this little yellow gingham dress with the collars and the cuffs. And then this is just a ribbon that was, I think, on a gift I got. But I thought it would look so cute on her. And then when I had this ribbon, I decided to match the ribbons in her hair to kind of go with that. She's got a pair of little bloomers on, which I thankfully just kind of had in my stash, I think from a grab bag or something. And yeah, then I just recently received these sandals. The shoes are what I'm struggling with. I can't really find shoes for her. But these are from one of the like Bitty Baby official outfits. The summer beach something. These are chunky though. But I thought that the colors also kind of went with her outfit. So I bought these from a doll sale in the Facebook group and they just came. And yeah, I think she's so cute. I also managed to score, which I will be sharing when I do the other footage, some really cute official Bitty Baby pieces from a Facebook group sale. And so yeah, those are going to be in the box with the other baby items and these little books that I found her. And then yeah, and then I'm going to gift her this doll. I thought Daisy might be a really cute name for her, but I think I am going to let my daughter have a say if it's going to be her doll. Have a say in what her little dolly's name's going to be. But yeah, I couldn't believe like an early 2000s Bitty Baby twin was at my local thrift store. And yeah, I made her this little dress and I hope my daughter's gonna love it. Yeah, okay. I'll show you the box now, but I hope you enjoyed getting to see our little bitty baby girl and have some encouragement for motherhood, you know, if that's your cup of tea. So here is that pretty little floral case I was mentioning. It actually has a little clasp, a little hook, and it's about 8.5 by 12-ish inches, if that helps anybody when looking for a similar size. But here I'm just going to go through these official bitty baby pieces that I got from a Canadian seller. Cute little bib here. It also came with these little crowns and this fabric star. This is not a bitty baby bottle, just a baby bottle I already had. But I thought that these were kind of the cutest, kind of mix and match sets. All the colors go together so you could pair the different pieces together. And I really love the knitwear pieces. If I'm gonna spend money on doll clothes, I definitely look for knitwears because that is really hard for me to make myself or replicate at home. And then these are the few kind of books I've gotten her. One is I Am a Big Sister. This other one is Where's Baby's Belly Button? And this other one is the cutest little vintage book called Little Mummy. I thought that it was just so charming and adorable that I'm going to flick through the whole book here for you. You can obviously pause to read it if you want to read the book, but it just really captures that sweet spirit of what I'm hoping to see with my daughter by giving her this little gift, and just the nature of why I think we all love our dolls. Whether they're our baby dolls, our 18-inch dolls, they just are so charming and capture this sweet, innocent, childlike nature to be tender and affectionate and caring. And yeah, it's what we get to do as actual mothers, but what our children can play at while they are children. And I just think that the illustrations in this are so beautiful and so vintage as well. And here she's gonna say her little prayers and put her little babies to sleep, and it is so sweet. And just to finish off the video, since I know that I'm expecting another girl this time around, which is very exciting, I just wanted to share how even shopping secondhand, you can find the most adorable, sweet, beautiful clothes for your children. These are just a few different pieces that I have picked up while anticipating her arrival. I've really been loving butterfly themed, floral themed things because she's going to be a summer baby. And yeah, I love looking for adorable clothes for my kids, just like I do for my dolls. So thank you for watching.